The okay. The book said Chan was addicted to watching Malia. He enjoyed watching her squirm and dance as she got ready to see him. Do you think he will ever trust her enough to stop watching her? Not until they are together and they live together. And even then, so I guess it would be no, because I think even then, one of his little henchmen would always be following her. She'll probably have her own little personal butler and stuff too. Like there's always going to be somebody like watching her. She got no idea what she's in getting into. None. Because I could see it now. I haven't read it, all the way to the end, but I see where this is going. Um, yeah, he was addicted to watching Malia and enjoyed. That was the part. Okay, he enjoyed watching her squirm and dance as she got ready to see him. I'm like, bruh, you on that? And then gonna act like you surprised about the bruise on her hand. What's this? Like you already know what it is. Like, okay, I'm concerned for our girl. Um, but no, I don't think he will. I don't know if it's even about trust. It might be, now I'm going into Kyrie territory. It might be him trying to protect her and, take initiative. Later on, once they're together, you know, um, by having somebody like not necessarily follow her, but like somebody with her. Some rich people got like their personal butler or got their little assistant with them all the time. When they do go out and stuff. So it might be one of them situations. I don't think he doesn't trust her yet, or maybe he. I don't know. I don't like him watching her and being like, yeah, she's getting hot. She's getting hot for me. And that it was another reason he was probably upset. He's thinking she's doing all this. Oh, he thought he had that in the bag. I'm going to give her this lavender and these roses and she ain't going to know what to do.
I'm going to lay the hammer down on her ass.
Yeah. So, no, I don't think he'll ever trust her enough to stop. Well, okay, that's watching her. So maybe he won't like have the app where he's watching her every move, but he'll definitely have her followed.
All right, guys. I don't think it's a trust issue. I think Chan trusts her, and as he gets to know her, more and more, he's going to trust her more and more. But Chan loves Malia enough to never stop watching her. That's how much he loves her, You have to protect your investments. And Chan would be a fool to allow Malia to go out into this crazy world and he would not be watching her. He is the king, the headpin of the triads. I mean, he'd be a fool not to protect his investments, So I can appreciate that he loves Malia enough to watch her every move to make sure that she's good. Nothing from his corner is coming, that's going to hurt her. And nothing from her world, is going to hurt her. So it's a thin line, but I don't see anything wrong with Chan protecting his investments, keeping an eye on her. I hope maybe one day he'll be like, I do have cameras up everywhere just to make sure you're safe, darling. Mwah, and then leave real quick. So because she's like, cameras where? I need to know where everyone, so maybe he might let her know one day, but Chan's doing what Chan does best, and that's protecting his investments.
Mother. Let me go back over this question again. The book said that Chan was addicted to watching Malia. I don't know why I sound like that. He enjoyed watching her squirm and dance as she got ready to see him. Do you think he will ever trust her, stop watching her? I don't think it's an issue of trust. I think it's an issue of control. I think he sees her like that platter mentality. Keep your hand off my platter. Like Alicia said, somebody's always going to be around, whether it's security, whether it's assistant. Somebody's always going to be reporting, back to him anything that may be potentially a problem. I mean, I think that Chan I mean, at some point, maybe Malia will find out about his triad lifestyle, and then he'll be able to kind of like justify, like, well, the reason why I was doing all this is I'm trying to protect you. There are killers in these streets who want to hurt me, and they're going to hurt you to hurt me. But the reality is, I don't think he'll ever stop, watching her. Even if he's like, we have cameras up around the house to make sure nobody breaks in, but he's not going to be honest and say, I have a camera up in that light over our bed, so I like to watch that too. Later on, when I'm at work, like, boy, I really did my thug thizzle on her last night, right? I laid that hammer on her. I'm just saying, I just think that he has to know everything about her. I think that he needs to have this control. Some people feel like they can't feel comfortable in certain situations unless they're in control of it. They have to be in control of people. And so, no, I don't think that he'll ever stop watching. I don't think it's an issue of him trusting her. I think it's an issue. I need to control. I need to know what's going on. I need to know who you're talking to. I need to know who I need to eliminate. If you're talking to one of your friends who like, no, because Chan was wrong for saying, okay, so I'm going to make sure that every time your friend calls, something's going to be wrong with your phone. Like, I don't know. Yeah, because she's been permanently blocked and we can't figure out how to unblock her. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like Kyrie said, he's in protecting his investment in his thought. But it really is, it's a power dynamic. It's really control. She's a piece of real estate property on a good plot of land, and he's not going to lose out on that investment. So he's going to do all types of stupid stuff, have her followed, give her security in the name of, I just want to make sure you're okay. I just want to make sure you're protected. When in reality, I need to know what your movements are. I need to know if anybody tries to talk to you. I need to know if you are veering away from my heart, because I'm going to pull you back in, So it's a control thing. That's what I think. Next question. It says, Cham seems upset when he realized Malia was not going to invite him to her place after giving her those flowers. If she could see his thoughts, do you think she would be disgusted by his attitude? Absolutely. When somebody gives you a gift, you think, oh, that's so sweet. Like they gave it, with like pure thoughts and pure intentions. And I'm not saying his intentions weren't pure, but they're standing outside and he's like, it's gonna be a hot day. You might want to go and put your flowers in some water. And she's like, I just want to admire these all day. And he's like, okay. Because he was just like, honey, if I can get her upstairs, like, you're not even gonna be able to get them flowers in a vase. Like, I'm kicking that door and we about to be on it. I'm about to be on you like a whole grizzly bear. I feel like he was really like, I've waited long enough, even though it's only been like, a week or two. He's like, no, I've waited long enough and I'm ready to go to Pound Town with you, and these flowers will be a great idea. Like, put them back in water. I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna rub your hair and stroke your back, and then the heat is gonna intensify between us, and then we're gonna be in some sheets. That's not what happened. So Malia was just like, she said, oh no, I'm just gonna take it with me, and he's like, all right. So this whole little plan that he had, it didn't work out. I do think she would be disgusted by his attitude. I think we would all be disgusted by people's attitudes. When you have somebody, like, I've had male friends in my past, especially when I was younger, they would do something nice for me. I'm like, oh, that was so sweet. And let me give you a hug, Cameron, whoever Cameron is, right? And but you felt like, I'd just be throwing out random names of people. I mean, I don't even know who that is, but praise God. Have you ever, somebody's giving you something and you were grateful, but you felt like they wanted something more? It was like, that wasn't the gratitude I was looking for, and you start to be like, I hope they wasn't thinking that this was on some sexual stuff. I had a friend of mine who helped a woman with her tire, right? He was like, oh, I saw this lady, she looked like she was like on her lunch break and her tire had went flat, and I came over and I changed it. It was like, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and the lady was saying that she was gonna walk back to her house and I guess try to get like a spare out of her other car. And so she was like, thank you, you really like saved me a lot of time and energy today. And the guy was like, thank you. She's like, I'm so thankful. I don't know how to thank you. And the dude was like, I was thinking that since she lived so close by, she could take me back to her house and give me a proper thank you. And I'm like, is that what people think? Like, in my mind, I'm just like, so you helped somebody, you did a good deed, and her saying thank you wasn't good enough. You really, really, really wanted something else totally different. So yes, I think that if we had the ability to see what was in people's real true minds, we would run, we'd be disgusted, and we'd be scared. What are your thoughts, Alicia?
There we go. Um, First off, wow. Like, you know what? I'm so petty. I probably have him just put the old tire back on at some point. Like, I want a proper thank you. Mm. Um, I'm gonna read it again. Chance seemed upset. He realized Malia wasn't going to invite him up to her. Okay, so I can kind of understand it. I'm not. You don't owe anybody anything for any gifts or any gestures. That's not what I'm saying. Here's what's been going on with these two. These two have already. I mean, he sucked the soul out of her fingers at dinner. They've had a few dates at this point. He's watching her on his. She don't know this, but he's watching her on the cameras, and so he's seeing that she's feeling him. You know, you could be dating somebody and you don't really know how they feel. All you know is what they tell you. Well, he got what she's telling her, or he got what she's telling him, and then he has the conversations between her and her homegirls, and he's watching her on camera. So he's watching her squirm and dance and get ready. And he's like, hold on, she's feeling me. I know she's feeling me. Like, she said this. I don't met the parents. I mean, I'm there. You know, he went to the graduation, kinda. Kinda. And he's taking her out, and, he's bringing her these flowers or whatever. And the thing is, even after, I thought that excuse was like kind of, no, I just want to look at him all day. I'm like, you could have came up with something better, Malia. Come on. But he's kind of like thrown back, like, yo. And then, she's like, I'm enchanted by you too. And staring him in his eyes. And then they have all these passionate kisses after she wouldn't take him upstairs. So it's like, come on, sis. Either you gonna give up, you gonna let him tax, or you're not. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell somebody, no, I don't want you. And then, grab his head and, put your tongue down his throat, and then after you're done, you're like, no. I just want to. I want to have a good time because I'm a good girl. Come on, Malia. So, that's my thoughts. I don't think she'd be disgusted. She knows what he wants. She knows. She could sit there and play like, well, I just want to take it slow and get to know. No, they both know they want each other and they are ready to do what it does. So, yeah, that was the one thing. Now, again, certain gestures, not all, but certain gestures and certain, gifts doesn't automatically, okay, here's the panties. But come on now. You can't tell a guy you don't, no, thank you. And then, like I said, these passionate kisses take place and staring him in his eyes and telling him basically everything he's telling her. And then she repeats it back to him. So it's like, okay. So I understood his frustration, his annoyance. He didn't like take it out on her, thank God, But no, guys get crazy like that. They'll hurt you. Or just take it at some point. Like, you know what? I gave you a chance to give it to me, but since you ain't gonna give it up, it's gonna happen. We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. The choice is yours. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Should have brought that cheesy bread, Chan. But no, I think we see a lot of Malia going back and forth with herself. It's been so long since she's been intimate with somebody. She's really feeling Chan, and then she's wrestling with that, good girl church side, reserved Rose City girl that, hold off a little bit, get to know this person first, before you jumping into it. So I feel like we see that a lot in this chapter of her. She really, and then she's like, wait, I can't, and you see that with her excitement, getting ready, getting dressed, and, having these thoughts of Chan, and then when Chan gets there, it's like, she buttons it up real quick. You're like, oh yeah, okay, thank you, And then sometimes we see it slipping, like the finger incident, and she done wet her panties, and so it's just like, so I enjoy seeing it because I feel like, we've gone through those things too with, being raised in the church, and then we get out into the world and we're having these other experiences that we weren't prepared for. And it's like, whoa, wait, why I'm feeling things, but I shouldn't be, So I really enjoyed this scene that Karina created because, it kind of gives you a glimpse, of the inner turmoil that you'll go through when you're trying to be a good girl, but still, you have these desires also, so, but to answer the question, yes, I do think Malia would be quite alarmed if she were to know Chan's thoughts, and that would be the end of the relationship, quite honestly. But we all know Chan would capture her and bring her back because he owns her now and her family. So, we're here now.
Yeah, I mean, what you guys both said was just like really, really good because Malia is really fighting within herself because even at one moment, there was a reflection of her being like, yeah, I'm not going to take him upstairs, so I'm tearing him down too. There's some people that you guys both know that this happens. We're going to be like two animals. Like, it's not going to be what it need to be. And I think there's a fear for women that if I give this to you now, like, are you really here for me or are you here for the box? Because dudes will wine and dine you, play games with you, and then you'll never hear from them again because all they wanted was the box, right? So I think Malia's trying to proceed with caution, but it's like she's so like wrapped up in him, and it's almost like that Anita Baker, rapture of love. Like, I love me some Anita Baker, baby. She has this like, Malia is like having this like teenage girl romantic experience, such a fairy tale, and it's really fun to see her experience that because I feel like when you first started dating somebody, you feel all of that. You're just excited, you're bubbly, like they can call, you could be having a bad day and that person's like, oh, everything's gonna be okay, babe, like don't worry about it, and you'd be like, he told me not to worry about it. And it's like, your mama told you don't worry about it, your girlfriend told you don't worry about it, but you was like, yeah, but I still have to. Yeah. And then he calls you, he says one word, and you're just like, it calms your whole spirit. You're like, he said it's gonna be good, my bae said it's gonna be good, it's gonna be fine. So I think that Malia is experiencing all of these like whimsical feelings, and it's really sweet. But yeah, like she wants it. She wants him. He was saying he was enchanted by her, and she's like, I'm enchanted by you too. Like, you didn't put a spell on me. And she feels it. But I think there's a fear of like, if I go here, if I do this, like Monica said, I don't get down the first night. The song, that was a joint, right? Still on the playlist. And she talked about like, you're chilling, everything's cool, you got a vibe. But what if I do this? What if we get down and then it's like, okay, that's all you want in the first place. So I feel like sometimes people take their time because they're trying to make sure this ain't gonna be no bull, because eventually, I'm telling you, like when that's really on somebody's mind, a lot of people they're not willing to wait around too long. They'll cut you off pretty quickly. If you're a psychopath, like some of my family members, I've had some of my brothers tell me, oh, I can wait 6 months to a year because I'm cheating anyway. Okay. So, I have literally, one of my younger brothers, he was just like, I can wait, it's cool. I mean, because I already got something on the side anyway, So she thinks I'm this nice guy, and I'm like, you're the devil. You are the devil. See, again, because I was raised with 4 brothers and a daddy who was a savage, like, these conversations they had was just like, ain't nobody trying to be a notch on nobody else's belt. Like, I'm just not trying to be that, So I feel Malia's extremely guarded. All of that Rose City stuff comes to her, and she's really in her head. Like, she wants to do everything the right way. She wants to fairy tale. She wants A through Z. And I think life is going to show Malia that sometimes you just have to be spontaneous. You have to do it. Sometimes you don't, But it's not based on like a set of rules. You have to know what's right for yourself. And when it's right, it'll be right. Don't rush it. If you feel it, go with it. But if not, don't. But you have to be careful because when you go with it, again, like, what if he's married with like kids and stuff? Like, I'm not trying to be nobody else's mistress because you've been a really good liar. So it's crazy. The world out here is wild. You better be careful, folks.